Okay, so everyone, let's take 5 seconds for the audio. Right. I'm assuming the audio is in this. I'm going to talk about this testing, how it is done, how null hypothesis, alternative are formed, how they are formed, what are the definitions of that. For everything, I have already all other. I have written an article about this topic covering what is hypothesis. Hypothesis is a hypothesis is an educated guess or tentative statement about the phenomenon that can be tested through. So a hypothesis is a guess which can be tested, measurable test, something random, something can be tested. Now there are types of hypotheses. What are we talking about? We are talking about statistical hypothesis. How do you form a statistical hypothesis? There is null hypothesis, there is alternative hypothesis. A null hypothesis, what is null hypothesis? Null hypothesis represents false assumption. When it will say that there is defect, no difference, two groups are same. See, the details I have mentioned. Like how are they mathematically represented? And an alternative hypothesis is something which uh, trying to prove the null hypothesis is incorrect. In a sense, we can say that, but we can also say that alternative hypothesis what we believe. The null hypothesis is the assumption, kind of not accurately assumption, but we can say a little to an extent that it is an assumption. And with the alternate hypothesis, we are trying to prove that assumption wrong. Okay, how do you prove that wrong? Okay, what are the differences? Need to understand what null and alternative hypothesis is. So it says no effect, it says effect exists, difference is there. Like that, there are many other things. Decision making supported, tentative supported, burden of proof, decision rule. Decision tells you that if probability is less than or equal to alpha, here you're not having the correct complete picture of what is alpha and what is probability. To understand those letters in this video also, or if you are reading this article also, it will be really good for you that you can understand everything. I start explaining each and everything, it will take a lot of time. I want to do that. I just want to give you an example of how it is done. Rest, everything I have written out can okay. So there is the one thing called probability, there is one thing called alpha. Alpha represents a confidence level. Okay. So says that if the null hypothesis is incorrect up to 5%, I'll take that. So until 5% inaccuracy of the null hypothesis is acceptable because they not it is not possible to do a population test. Whenever you are doing a test, you are doing it based on sample data, right? So there there may be some chances, some errors which can be acceptable. So 5% is acceptable. That's what significance level tells you. What is confidence level? Confidence level says that what is the minimum accuracy I need to accept this? 95%, which is 1 minus alpha. Alpha is 5%. If you take that into point terms, it will be 0. Then if you do 1 minus alpha, it will be 0.95, which is 95%. So yeah, the power of the test, probability of correctly rejecting the null hypothesis when it is false. Higher power indicates a better ability of the test to detect an effect when there is uh, the higher uh, power of test number. If it is higher, then it tells you that it is much better to reject the null. It is Z critical. Z critical refers to a specific value on the standard normal distribution that corresponds to the chosen significance level. So this is something you calculate based on the significance level you have taken. When I said significance level represented by alpha, it does not really mean that every time you are going to get a cycle. Based on the test, based on the analysis you are doing, you may be taking a different alpha level, different significance. It could be anything, but normally what is the standard there? The standard is 5%. There are other details also. This is a detailed article I wanted to highlight in this video. How do you do a null hypothesis testing, or how do you do a hypothesis testing? For that, I have taken this example. Shopkeeper is selling cashews of 100-gram packets. Customer complains that the actual weight of the packet is less than 100. Shopkeeper takes a sample of 49 packets and determines the average weight of the packet is 95 grams. But here first, what we need to do is we need to form the null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis. Right? So alternative hypothesis is what? First of all, we'll tell you null hypothesis. Null hypothesis says there is no difference. Packets are 100 grams only. No impact. Nothing is wrong. Everything correct. Everything okay. But the alternative hypothesis is that no, packets are less than 100 grams. Okay. Packets are less than 100 grams. For the alternative hypothesis, null hypothesis being null hypothesis, no impact, no difference. Okay. And the significance level for this test we are taking as 5%. I told you that this is the standard taken everywhere. Okay. And then you will have to calculate two more things. First of all, calculate the Z statistic, Z score, and Z critical. So to calculate the Z score, there is a formula. Is x bar minus mu. X bar will represent the mean of the sample data. Okay. And mu will represent the mean of the population data. Okay. Sigma will represent the standard deviation. Okay, I have missed that point over here. We mentioned that the standard deviation is 5 grams. Like packets vary 5 grams here and there. Just to mention, I'll do that. Yeah, reading the article, I'll add that. Okay. So, and the sigma divided by root of n. N represents number of samples. Okay. Which is 49. So that's what I have made it here in the formula. 95 minus 5 by root of 49. 95 is the mean sample mean, and 100 is population mean. Population mean 100 grams. Sample mean 90. Sample mean 95 grams divided by 5 gram of standard deviation. Right? 5 gram of standard deviation divided by root of 49, which is number of samples. Line I want to highlight over here is that According to central limit theorem, if your sample size is greater than 30, your distribution will be normal distribution or Gaussian distribution. This line may not be fitting actually over here, but this is something you would need to know, and this is something you will realize when you're doing a lot of tests. Okay. And just as a line, I'm hypothetical. Okay. Just as an additional information, I wanted to say that I have taken enough samples. Samples are enough. Maybe you're thinking, oh, the packets are so many. How can you just measure 49 packets and say, like, selling cashew packets? He's not selling only 10 packets. He's not selling only 20 packets. He's not selling only 100 packets. Business, so there must be thousands of packets. So if I have to make an assumption or make a assumption about 1,000 units, what is the accurate sample size? Say that to back that there is a thing which has been already determined by the statisticians. There, where they say that if your sample size is greater than 30, you have enough sample. You have taken enough samples. So sample size is 49. If you do this calculation, you will come to the conclusion of -7. Is it visible to you everyone? So this will be -7. And this is one part like Z critical. How do you calculate Z critical? Z critical is calculated based on the significance level. So that I तो जब क्रिटिकल वैल्यू के लिए एक फॉर्मूला है नॉर्मल is the formula for calculate z critical value. This will take the probability, like probability is 5%, can take 5% error, so it will be 5 over here. Give you uh, 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 so our probability is 5%. If you convert that into numbers, it will be 0.05. But this will be the critical. Okay, that critical is. So you may be thinking like, why you using Excel for this? Why you not doing the exact calculation? Actually, there is none. There is no calculation. This is only determined. Like, for this, you need to understand what are we talking about. Try and draw that. Where is the drawing? Well, here was drawing option. Uh, Actually, what am I talking? So, what we are calculating is a number more than perfect. Okay. So, assume this is a normal list, the Gaussian list. Okay. So, we are actually calculating number will represent 5% in this side. Okay. So, saying 5% and plotting that on this chart, on this distribution is different. Okay. So, what should be appropriate distance from here to here, which will represent 5%? Understand? Like I'm trying to tell you that reaching to this point in this picture is critical for us. That's why we are using Excel to calculate where will that number be, where will that point be. So right now this is our mean. So negative side, this is positive side. Okay. So what did we come up with? Our Z critical is 1.64. 1.64 will be somewhere, let assume this here, minus 1 point. Okay. And the Z score is minus 7. Minus 7. It is farther away from this side. So you can say that because it is farther away, too much away, more than 5%, if 5% is this one. Okay. If my number would have come in this range, in this range, I would have taken this. If my number would have come in this range, from here onwards, I would have taken that the alternative hypothesis is correct. But because it comes in this range, which is away from the Z score, I am taking this as the this was green area where we would have accepted the null hypothesis, alternative hypothesis. Here we are denying. So because this is minus 7, this is farther away from the point we have calculated. We are concluding that this is incorrect. Like the alternative hypothesis is incorrect and the null hypothesis is correct. Okay. That's all for this video. I know you may be thinking a little bit like didn't really made sense everything. Just read this article once, okay? There are so many things. If I have to explain you about uh, entire thing, it will take a lot of time. I want to do that. I wanted to use the video just to show you how this part of calculation is done. You to insert the video you're watching will be inserted over. Okay. If you are interested in understanding hypothesis, okay, if you are interested in knowing the answers to all these questions. What is hypothesis? What is statistical hypothesis? What are the types of statistical hypothesis? What are the similarities and differences between null and alternative hypothesis? What are type 1, type 2 errors in hypothesis testing? If you are interested in knowing all these things, You should read this article. It's a really good article and detailed article. It will help you a lot. Yes, Bhavesh.